All right, guys, we're here. We're going to just do kind of a brief walkthrough like we did on our last future boat to show you the outside and inside of the boat and the trailer. So I'm going to start off in the front here. You have an electric jack. This one is a little different than the previous one. It doesn't have the onboard battery and onboard charger, so it has to be hooked up to the truck to make it go up and down. This could have been done a little better, to be honest with you, but Sean's going to fix that at a later date. So typical Extreme standard marker lights. Decent ladder. I do like the fact that the ladder is not bolted on. It is part of the trailer. That's a big upgrade. Well, different, I guess, than say my trailer. The Adrenaline, they build them, they do it that way as well. Standard marker lights again. It's got a beautiful powder coated gunmetal gray with a metallic in it. Big casket lights. These are Extreme casket lights. Now I'm going to tell you the difference between the Adrenaline and the Extremes. Extreme was the original inventor of these, and they have a rounded edge, and they came up with the stainless caskets. They were selling them to other trailer manufacturers. They come to find out they didn't want to sell them to everybody else anymore because it was an Extreme product, so Adrenaline had to actually go make their own, and that's why theirs have the angular edges versus the rounded. Personally, I prefer the rounded, but you can't get them unless you get them through Extreme, and they won't sell them to anybody else. Fuel wheels, gunmetal gray fenders, which I actually do like. I'm kind of over stainless fenders. The later in age I get, I'm just kind of over it. I love the way they look. But two things. One, they scratch really easily. Two, the reflection, which I actually didn't know this. Steve Two Forceful pointed it out to me. The reflection out the polished stainless will actually fade the gel coats faster in the summertime. And I thought he was kind of full of it, and I started messing around with my old boats, and I put my hand on the side, and it was well hotter than the other ones. Beautiful cross diamond plate on top of the fenders. Again, big casket lights. Integrated tie downs right in the trailer. This is the upgrade on this trailer. This is called a drive guard. Extreme charges $1,200 for it, which I think is extremely reasonable. I would have figured that would be more like $2,500, $3,000 as an upgrade. But it's really beautiful. They put the double stack lights on the back, and it really gives you that big kind of exotic boat feel to it. I'm going to run back to the front. We're going to go over the boat real quick. Just getting kind of stuck on the trailer there, but we'll run back to the front. This is a Howard 288, okay? So this is, in my opinion, the Ferrari or the Lambo of the single engine deck boat market. They're very cool. They all pretty much come with this half cap in the front. It's beautiful. As you can tell, the lines on this boat are absolutely gorgeous. It just looks exotic standing still. This particular one, gloss black, powder coat on everything from the Lavorsi night lights, rub rail, cleats. Right here, this is actually so brand new, it's still a little sticky. Then you got your quick pin cleats here, coming back, gas cap, fuel vent, cleats, quick pin cleat again. All the hardware right here on the windshield, all matched, perfect. Of course, it's a Howard, so everything's pretty much clocked. Beautiful logo put in there. Back here to a nice, ginormous swim step. Again, half cap. He's got two of the same ladders I got. These are very functional. I like these a lot better than the Aqua Steps. I used to have an Aqua Step, and it's always failing. I would not recommend that to anybody. This is a huge swim step here, gator step, engine vents on both sides, allows that big 600 to breathe. Back here, MCO drive XR, dual MCO hydraulic steering, which is pretty much factory with a Howard 288 and a 600. 28 Bravo. This boat will spin a 28 Bravo, it'll run just in the low 80s. If you run a 30 Bravo, it'll run mid 80s, mid to high 80s. If it's cool weather and you're running a 30 Bravo labbed with a little bit of cup in it, the boat should hit 89.9. That's what we tested them at a few years back, and not much has changed since then. Underwater lighting, again, this is beautiful right here. Gatlin mufflers from the factory, so it's not so obsessively loud. These swim steps echo, and they make everything sound like a monster. This particular one has a monster motor in it, so it is a monster, so it's nice to have a little bit of stealth there. Anyhow, guys, let's go take a walk through the front of this thing. I'll show you what I like about a Howard 288, and then we'll get into why it's the Ferrari or the Lambo of the deck boat world. All right, guys, so we're gonna check out the interior of a 288, and I'm gonna show you some of the things I like about it. Now, this particular boat, again, that half cap is beautiful. It's not like a typical deck boat. I mean, it's really got that aggressive look to it, so it feels very race inspired, very similar to that 27 Thor I just showed you guys last week. You got your shower right here, stereo control right here, this big walk-off in the front, which is big, not as wide as a Nordic, but it's a very large walk-off. This is not an afterthought. This was tooled into the boat. It's one of the things that makes it very sexy to look at. The Howard has one thing that nobody else has. This little piece right here is not just a flat board. This is actually a mechanized deal, and it'll swing up, which we're going to show you in just a moment. And what that does is it disrupts the wind flow. When you're doing 60, 70, 80, 90, up to 110 in a Howard 288, you raise that up, it matches right here, it disrupts the wind flow, and it kind of eliminates or helps to disrupt that wind tunnel effect you get with a lot of deck boats. And that's something I really like. There's also a second thing about that, which almost could be construed as like a safety factor. If you're just floating and some guy in a wakeboard boat comes by and throws a big roller and it's gonna come down the tunnel of the boat, if that thing's up, the wave comes in, it hits that, pushes it back, and most of it goes out the slats. That's not to say some of it's not gonna come in the boat still, because it will, but it just tends to help. Howards always have beautiful interiors. I can't say I've ever seen a Howard I didn't like the interior on. This one's no exception. Full Alcantara, double diamond stitched. You got your fiberglass insets in here. They are illuminated. Matching gel coat. That's my little water cup there because it's 105 degrees out and we're hot. But the bolsters in here, very, very comfortable. They're also a lot of side bolster to keep you from moving around a whole lot. I'm not going to go through all the storage on the boat. The 288s are well documented. We've reviewed them, we've tested them. This one's just the latest one, and I love the colors of it. I love the lime green, the black, and the gunmetal gray with the metallic. It's just a beautiful boat. So we're gonna come back here. This is the windshield. This is a $7,000 option. If I was building one, I'd do it. I know it's crazy money, but I love it. It does help to deflect the wind enough. You guys got to bear in mind, this is a fast boat. This boat runs, 88, 89 miles an hour. So, that little bit of wind protection helps. Typical Howard. I don't know how they pull it off every time, but I just love everything about their homes. It's a nice black steering wheel, lime green stitching in here to match. It's just a simple steering wheel, but it looks like something came out of a race boat. Nice Imco tilt helm. They did a lot more gauges than we're used to with a vessel view, but it's all beautiful, man. It all looks great. It's all very visible, and a little smaller. They didn't go with the monster gauges on this one, but they added a whole bunch of other stuff. You got your oil pressure, you got your fuel, you got your two fuels, water pressure, water pressure. That'd be a good one to have. Most boats don't have that. When your impeller starts going out, that's something nice to have. Water temp, tack, speedo, right? Again, right here, you got your Merc vessel view. It's a standard deal. You get everything you ever wanted to know on that, from hours to how many RPMs and how long to, you freaking name it. That thing tracks everything, even right down to GPSs, I believe. It's been a while since I've done it. So, in these insets here, I really like it. You can see they did a triangular shape, so it's not just a big giant cavernous insert. You can see right here, they got a grab handle right here. If you look at the way your arm would go, it all flows beautifully. On this side, you got your stereo control, speaker, cup holder. Really nice, really nice. Everything's jet black and beautiful. When we come back here, this is a cooler right here, and this is a smaller cooler, or this is a larger cooler, and that's a smaller cooler. So you got two independent coolers, so you can have like your waters and Gatorades for the kids in this one, and you can have your kind of adult beverages in the back one for this one. Personally, with the big storages right here, I might as well show it to you now because they all have it. They have a coolers on slide outs. On this side's the trash can and storage. Oops, sorry about that, Mike. And then this side, they opted for something different this time. Most of the 288s will generally have a kind of an igloo cooler in there, and it's on a slide. You pull a pin, you pull the cooler out. It works pretty good. As you can see, this storage is massive. I could go down there and sit in there, and I'm a pretty big dude. So I'm not going to get into all the storage under the seats for two reasons. One, we've tested this boat. We've featured these boats before. We've done a lot of articles on them. If you want to see what it is, you can go to one of those articles. They are not lacking for storage. It's got a lot of storage. It's a very functional boat. But the second reason is this thing's brand new, and the Velcro's so tight, you got to sit there and kind of work it up until it kind of wears itself in. And that's also kind of typical of a new boat, especially a Howard, where they like everything nice and tight. So I do want to show you, Mike's gonna have to come around to the other side of me right now, And there's gonna be 2 subwoofers integrated into the seats there, which I think is pretty cool. If you wanted to go with a much larger stereo, you could certainly do that by putting subs, you know, in one or the other of the storages here. I mean, I'm not a stereo installer, but there's a million options there where you can put speakers. Back here, you're gonna have your battery switch in the boat, which is nice, and it's easily accessible, which I like. And right next to that, that's where your onboard charger is gonna be. So you literally just plug the boat right in the wall. Now, something that you probably haven't seen, or maybe you don't know about it yet, you can see these pipes on the floor here. This is the bimini top, right? And you can see they actually have a little snap in on the floors where this can snap in to prevent rattles while it's down. But it's a true hidden bimini. This is a full-size bimini in this boat. It goes from the back to about where the windshields are. When you want to use it, you simply pull this up, and you see this dot right here? There's one right on the other side. You can attach it like that, and it will sit there at an angle with the engine hatch down. It's out of the way. You're still able to walk off and on with the bimini attached. When you're ready to raise it up, you raise the engine hatch. It goes up, straps down, full bimini. So Howard was one of the few to do that, and I'm going to show you. We're going to go check out the engine bay right now. So already in the audio, you can hear that doesn't sound like your typical hatch rams. And Howard changed the hatch rams. I guess this is the first boat with it. And even I haven't seen these yet, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they are. So, guys, this is beautiful. Jet black Mercury 600, very, very nice. This is some kind of new style hatch ram. It looks a lot different than the old ones. It's still a worm gear, but it doesn't have the big gearbox off to the side. I guess Howard was having some problems with some of the earlier 288s and 255s because they share a real similar engine hatch, where they were getting some rubbing on the sides from the rams getting out of sync or something. So this is their new hatch ram deal, which I guess cures that. It is totally Howard. Everywhere you look, first class. You get your fender holders back here. Rigging is a 10 out of 10. You can't, I mean, 9.5 out of 10. I mean, DCB might do 1 or 2 things better where they powder coat certain things here and there, but this is, it's about as good as it gets, guys.